Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to AMA today. We are here for a very interesting topic on AI for startups and SMEs. This is a unique collaborative initiative to bring insightful discussion on management, businesses, startup, and growth stories from Gujarat. This is by Ahmedabad Next. The Ahmedabad Next resonates with the resilience of an Ahmedabadi who excels despite all odds. So this is a collaborative initiative of Each Eye Ventures, Ahmedabad Management Association and Communicate Karo. We have with us Mr. Vineet Parikh. We unfortunately don't have Mr. Pratyush Prabhakar. He won't be joining us due to some medical emergency. We have Ms. Himani Kankaria and Mr. Ainik Shah will be joining us shortly. A warm welcome to all of you guests, and I'll take this opportunity to welcome you all.
आप जिनको देना है आप दोनों को सर क्योंकि वो सर आ रहे हैं ना उनके लिए
ठीक है तो चलो. And before we begin, let me tell you that the session will be moderated by Mr. Jatin Chaudhary from Each Eye and Mr. Kumar Manish from Communicate Karo. To begin with, we have Mr. Jatin Chaudhary taking over.
So thank you so much, AMA team. We'll get started. The theme for today is very exciting, and after ChatGPT, it has become more exciting. So we'll do a few introductions from this side, couple of introductions from this side, and continue with our discussion. So we'll not be able to do introductions of everyone, but anybody who's already building a AI product or using some generative AI products or services, and so brief about you and something that you are using or doing something around AI or you are curious about. Anybody would like to volunteer to introduce themselves? Yes.
I am Pratik. I am from SME Solutions. We are building a SaaS for in market only to provide ROI insights based on AI, based on the human behavior.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So typically when there are a lot of people don't volunteer to introduce themselves, उनको लग रहा है कि लोग हमको judge करेंगे. So we should be the ones who encouraging people to come up and speak about themselves. One is good enough. Yes, we'll do 3-4 introductions. Yes, ma'am. Louder and about you.
I'm Shreyanshi Shah and I am an undergraduate student of AI and ML. I just recently completed my bachelor's and I am actually working on a startup idea where we are building a prototype using AI for partially blind people. It's a helmet cum goggles type of idea where you can actually, it uses a lot of AI technologies like text to speech and other object detection and all technologies, and currently I'm working on that.
Okay, awesome. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
My name is Srishti and I am in a field which is related to AI. We provide data through which the machines get trained. So for example, if we are building a stock prediction machine, so based on human emotions, then we get all the data, we process it, we unload it to you. Same way for image detection, we collect the pictures, then we do a lot of transcription work.
Okay.
All data related to AI.
Awesome. And in addition to your introduction, you can give a call to action. Like you're looking for something, you're looking for funds, जो मिलेंगे नहीं, but you're looking for a developer, you're looking for some users. Any call to action you have for the community, you can mention that.
Like I got a cookie for that. Data or anything like for building any system and if we can assist you in some way,
Okay.
we are a great facilitator for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ma'am. 2-3 more introductions. Yes, sir. So this introduction gets boring after 3 introductions. So rest of the folks have to show a little more energy. So we'll continue with a couple of more introductions. Yes, sir. Okay, awesome. Yes, sir.
I'm Om Bawal. I come here all the way from Baroda, from Parul University. And
Wow.
we are a team of three. We are founder of Nestas. That's a completely AI company. We are a product-based company. We are in a very early stage. We are in a POC or prototyping stage. And our technology is all about AI-based automation systems, wherein we integrate the numerical data as well as human emotions to make automation systems much more human. And we as a team Nestas look here for a genuine feedback and with which we can improvise while building our product along the way. Thank you
Okay,
very much for your time.
awesome. Thank you so much. अगली बार तुमको इधर बुलाते हैं. So one more thing. So those of you mentioned about the AI startups that you are building on, if you can, I'm sure whenever you would have registered for the event, you would have got my email address. So if you can send me about you, so whenever post event, when we do a write up about you, we can give you a shout out to all of you that, you know, this is the company and this is what they are looking at. So outside of those 100 people in the room, more people will get to know about it. And we do similar meetups all over India. So there are a lot of folks who would potentially can discover this. An idea of this session is to have a good interaction and not necessarily, of course, we hear experts, but the idea is that they'll be sharing their perspectives about things. And we would want to engage with all of you about those discussion. तो कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई एक बोलेगा वो सनातन सत्य हो जाएगा उस टॉपिक का. Idea is to have different perspectives. And today Kumar will be leading this discussion. So big round of applause for Kumar.
Hello. Thank you, Jitin. So I think we have a very good audience, and I think a lot many people who are already working on AI is part of the participants. So I think I would strongly encourage that I should ask you to ask more questions from the people who are sitting on the panel here. So I'll be asking less questions. But before we start, I just wanted to ask with a raise of hands, if you can say, how many of you are really positively looking towards AI? How many of you are really afraid of AI, that it's going to impact maybe your job or maybe your future prospects? How many are afraid of AI? Okay. So first thing is that it's good to see that people are very positive of AI. And recently, I think I had a discussion at Anant National University again on AI, and was talking to a friend who is a gamer, and he was talking about his experience that in China, almost 70% of job, especially in graphic and illustration, have gone away. It's gone to AI. So there's a different kind of a world which are emerging, and idea is to have this kind of a discussion. That's how Jatin and I came, that we should start talking and discussing about AI in a more engaging manner, and also trying to engage with the people who are working on this domain. And that's why we have Himani and Vineet. We have also going to have Enik. We have also Pratyush. He works on public policy part. We thought, and he was supposed to come from Delhi, but unfortunately he is COVID positive. That's why he is not able to come. So before we start, I would like to ask our panelists that how they got introduced to AI. Is it a recent phenomenon, or they have been working for long? And how they have been using in their own domain, kind of a thing. Over to you, Vineet.
So my experience with AI comes in more as a user, as a customer. I don't come from a product development background, developing technology in AI, ML, but we do use that as a platform, both as our personal use within our company, as well as products that we implement as a solution for our customers. So that's my background, and any discussion, any comments that I have is purely coming from that background.
I guess I am from the marketing background, so when it comes to AI or ChatGPT, I guess we started exploring this AI thing, I guess 2.5 years ago, when there were a lot of, there were new introductions were being made, that, Python was started being used in search engine optimization. There were a lot of new courses that were launched. Even I would say that there is this late Hamlet Batista who actually introduced this Python, that how you can use Python, AI, ML, and all of those things into search engine optimization, right? So, and even I believe before ChatGPT, there were AI models, even AI tools that people were using in their, spreadsheets, Excel sheets, and even while writing, creating content, and all of those stuff. So I guess these things were there since 2.5 years or something like that. But I guess this got more aggressive the moment ChatGPT went out, for all in, for the users and all of those people. So, yeah.
Because now you also work a lot on digital transformation. So how do you see, and we're also focusing on SMEs, so how they are going to move towards AI in terms of digital transformation? And where do you see the challenges, especially in the context of, Indian context of AI?
So I think first thing in terms of challenges is about adapting to new things, right? So I remember the time when I initially started in my family business, the transition from, not using a typewriter to a word processor, or doing an accounting, on a software, or doing accounting on the cloud. These have been huge transformations for any organization, small and big. And but each of those transformations came with a lot of challenges, lot of anxieties, and but we have still evolved. This is another phenomena that has come in front of us. We are going to take time to adapt to it. The previous generations of technology gave us some more time to adopt. Today we have to adopt a little faster. Second thing, what I see is people who have started using it, even if you talk of Chat GPT phenomena, which is hardly 3 or 4 months old, you see the vast difference in how their work performance of people who have started using it has gone up multiple levels compared to those who are not. So this is something that each one of us is going to be arm twisted into using.
Himani, because you work a lot on SEO, so what kind of approach you are seeing or witnessing? Because you recently been a part of Brighton SEO. So what kind of things are happening at that particular scale, and which you are adopting, or maybe the companies are coming forward to you and asking ki they need this kind of a content? And also, like for example, ChatGPT. So there's the primary job of content creation almost have gone to ChatGPT. So how do you see the role of SEO coming in the picture?
So I guess, usually when there was this, a huge hype and, everyone started using ChatGPT, I mean, literally our content writers were like, yaar, what am I going to do that, this is creating so, the content is getting created so fast, and, the level of pointers that they give, it is like quite accurate, right? But then we slowly and started, gradually we were looking into experimenting, we were, reviewing the content that they were creating, because we have, because we are a content-driven SEO agency, we have really strict and aggressive review process, right? So any content that comes out, it has, layers through which it has to go for review, and then it goes to the client, right? So in that case also we did with the ChatGPT as well. So we started identifying the pattern that it is using. So we understood that even if ChatGPT is there and it is evolving almost, like a month on month, I would say, right? So in that case, how you can use ChatGPT becomes really important. So rather than, seeing that, people are getting more content requirements and all of those things, but there are writers who were losing jobs. A couple of our clients have literally fired some of their, content writers, because they were thinking that they can use ChatGPT and then they can improvise the quality. But we have seen, Missive has seen the increase in number of leads for content creation. So even if ChatGPT is going stronger, if there is any way to humanize it, is to have the talent behind it, right? So slowly and gradually what we have started doing is we have started implementing ChatGPT as the process. That, okay, where we can utilize it. Even when I went to London last week, I mean, like, there also, almost there were like 50-60% of talks, they had, ChatGPT involved, AI was involved, right? So in that case, what is happening is that everyone has started utilizing it for their own benefit, so that they can do things more efficiently, more accurately, because even we know, right? I mean, we have created tools. Tools are not creating us, right? So that is how things have been moving for us.
Himani, I would come to Anik. Thanks for joining in.
Extremely sorry, I was in traffic, so extremely sorry.
So we hope to have some AI tool to address traffic problems of Ahmedabad in future. So Anik, if you can briefly introduce you about yourself,
Sure.
and if you can also talk about how you got introduced to AI and what kind of a changes you are witnessing.
So we are an e-commerce site search provider. So we are a purely AI-based SaaS product, software as a service product. So say for example, you go to Flipkart, Amazon, right? All of people sitting here would have gone to Flipkart, Amazon to buy the products, right? So you see a search there, right? So if you put say t-shirt under 2000 for my kids or say for a baby, right? Flipkart, Amazon give you a very accurate set of the results, right? So if you see there's an AI on top of it, right? So there is like 60 to 70 developers working in each of these organizations to just work on the product discovery, right? So now if you see on the other side of it, right? So 50% of market of e-commerce is led by these unicorns, right? But the other 50% is led by D2C brands and the top brands like say you name it like Manyavar, Westside, Shopper Stop, W4 Women, Jockey, right? So all of these on e-commerce they also have traffic and the other 50% of the sales come from them. So we are catering to this other 50% of these brands to compete with these top unicorns in terms of the product discovery. So search is just one of it. Search, filter, personalization, and all of these places we do the AI. So coming to the AI point, so for example, we use machine learning, we use NLU, we use NLP. So NLU is natural language understanding and natural language processing to understand the context of the user, right? And once the user put the query for the personalization, say for example, someone would be looking for a bag and someone would be looking for a bathroom related something, right? So if someone just put BA, right? So based on the user persona, we have to show them the suggestions and show them the results, right? So yeah, that's on the basic intro and the AI part, how we use it.
Thanks, Anik. I think if you have any questions, please keep on raising hands because I would love to take questions from audience. Anyone, if you have any questions to ask? Okay, Vrij.
Okay, so my question is, I'm optimistic. So I know that AI will do a very good, it's a greater good for the humanity. So, okay, so in the past where new technology introduces, there are a lot of jobs are disappeared, but also there are new jobs that are created by the technology. So I'm a big believer that after AI is introduced, there are a lot of jobs that are impacted. I want to know which are the jobs that are impacted due to AI, and also which are the new jobs that you think that will created because of AI.
Okay, I'll go first. So, I mean, we started seeing this shift in Ahmedabad, India, everywhere. But even in, companies outside India, I went to Brighton SEO. You must be knowing that, right? So there also, we saw that a lot of new type of job roles and descriptions have come out. Like say, initially, there were hardly people who were, SEO product manager. Right? So this was the job that was not there like 6 months ago or a 1 year ago or something like that. But AI has created like SEO product manager, senior SEO product manager. So they are people who are working with the development team, the AI team to understand and how they can collaborate and build a better product so that, even they can build better product and these SEO guys can build a better, presence on search engines. So SEO product manager is something that is there. Also, people have started coming up with, this thing. Automated chat GPT creator. So that kind of people is also there. Even content creators, AI content creators is also something that is people are looking for. So if you will go and check Indeed and all of those things, so there you will also find such job opportunities coming up. So now even SEO AI is also some of the people who are looking to create Python scripts so that they can automate all the activities that they we usually do. Right, so automating those things, connecting API to the search console and all of those things, right? So there are these activities also, people are looking for such skills.
Anik, if you can add to this.
So the context to your question is that, right, So I will just give correlation with our product, right? So one of our customer is W4 Women, right? So W4 Women as a team of around 8 to 9 on the e-commerce side, right? So out of those 8 to 9, 4 of them are purely working on the AI based tools related to them, right? So for example, one person is just working on the chat GPT and chat bot of those things, right? So they have actually integrated some tool, right? I don't remember the company name, right? I think Yellow or something, right? And that particular person is just looking for that all chat related inquiries. Now one person is just looking for the all discovery related inquiries which is connected to VZ, right? So like for example, they have around, on daily basis, they have around 1 lakh plus search queries, right? So, and if you consider around that, there is 35,000 visitors coming on their website using the search feature, right? So all those 35,000 search queries, they analyze it, right? They have done, on top of our product, they have developed their own tools, right? So they also have some service partner who with some requirement, they develop some old tools on top of our products, right? Because we are a SaaS product, so we will not deliver all the things what they want, right? So that's how they're using the AI, and right, and now this people, this 4 or 5 candidates which I'm saying, right? One is from IIT Bombay, right? He's just 1 year back, he just got passed out, and he's just working on the AI for the chatbot. So that's how the job has been generated just for the AI in this type of the industry, right?
So one is on the back end, how technology is using AI, but that doesn't change the fact of our daily needs, right? You need to commute, you need to eat, you need to wear clothes, you still need to go on that W4 Women and buy the same clothes. They could give you better advice that this will fit you, and since you are searching this size, this is the right collection for you. So that is on their selfish interest to sell the right product to you. But as far as your needs are concerned, it is still the same. But what I think has been a huge shift for the masses and why ChatGPT is so successful is the use of natural language. If the same technology was available, like she said, since last 2.5 years, but you had to use a programming code to query and to get response, then there is only going to be these high so-called techies who could use it. But today you and I are able to use it is because we are able to use a very natural language. So you can tell somebody, treat me like I am a 4-year-old and explain to me, what is an impact player in IPL. And they will explain to you what is an impact player even if it's been introduced just a few months back. So this natural language utilization, I think, has been a game changer. And that's what is, I think, going to change a lot of things out there.
So we need to add on the same thing in terms of, because a lot of companies are looking for their transformation. They will also looking to realign their job requirements and that kind of a thing. So how the company should basically get into this whole AI thing, and where they should start?
So I will tell you this is just yesterday's discussion that we were having with the team. My company has an HR manual. Now this HR manual was originally written some 10 or 12 years back. No doubt we have made some incremental changes, put in some extra, areas into the manual. But today, clause by clause, when we just pick that up, put it in the chat GPT, what should be the computer utilization policy, what should be your travel policy, what should be your awards and recognition. When you put that into a chat GPT and say, please advise improvements to this policy, the kind of things that is returned, even if I pay 1 lakh rupees to an HR consultant to rewrite that HR manual, I'm not going to get the quality of output what I'm getting from ChatGPT. So this is the utilization that you need to do, and HR is just one side of it. There is everywhere simple written communication over email. Some context, some references that you want. Sometimes you have an idea, but you need to validate the idea before you are going to your boss. Please help me validate this idea, and it will give you 10 pros as to why this idea is so solid. You tell the same chat GPT, give me ideas to argue with my boss why this idea should not be there, and it will give you 10 points why this idea should not be pursued further. So it will give you a lot of ammunition and tools to go. End of the day, the conviction is yours, whether you want to follow it or not. But it will give you a lot of content to play around with.
Yes. I think backside. Yeah, just.
Hi, my name is Jay, and the young man has asked a question for his job because it is at his age. I just want to ask that does this AI make you handicapped when you start a game? Does it restrict your thought process? People are not innovative. They stop thinking, they just put in the chat GPT and find a reason. So how will it hamper the thought process of a human being?
So I am a visiting faculty at communication college here and journalism. I teach also journalism a student, and I gave an assignment, and what I see, there was a pattern in the assignment coming up. So then I realized, okay, there's something gone miss. Something is different. First of all, I got the assignment within the deadline, which generally doesn't used to happen. So I thought, what is happening? And then I started reading more and see that some kind of a pattern is emerging. So of course, students are going to utilize ChatGPT. Like Italy has banned ChatGPT. But the question is, as an academician, as a faculty, how I can utilize the platform to maybe ask question in a completely different way. So it's not just about the student, but also about the people who are using it, how I can creatively use the platform. Because I don't think that we are going to turn the clock. It's going to get more advanced, despite the fact that a lot of, they call it the godfather of AI, has raised red flag about AI. But I don't think it's like a Pandora box, it's already open. So of course, there's a lot of ethics also involved on the AI part. So maybe if we can discuss more about the ethical part. Like for example, there are a lot of content getting created on ChatGPT. Who basically have the copyright on these content? A lot of AI is generating images or graphics. So who has the copyright on these images? Because they are, of course, taking examples from somewhere. Because they have been fed data, they are using the same data to produce some kind of a result. So how do we see the copyright issue in the AI context? Himani, if you want to start.
So in that case, what is happening is, when we are using for any thing, whether we are using it for creating images, for infographics, for content, we are not able to identify that from where this content has been taken. So it's like, when there are, like money, health and legal issues are involved, there only they put the citations and then they are clear that, okay, we are not, we are not allowed and we cannot answer you. So in those areas, they clearly say that they are not efficient enough to say anything or comment anything about it. But when it comes to images and all of those things, it is really difficult that we can identify that who will be having the copyright of this content. Because why? They are taking millions of, data, they are scrapping millions of data and then they are rephrasing it, repurposing it and what not. I mean, they are doing a lot of things, and that is the reason why even we have to also ask a lot of questions, because we have to make sure that the content looks humanized and not the one that is created from ChatGPT. Because as you said that, when you see the content created by ChatGPT, you start seeing the patterns. That okay, so like we were hiring for content writers and we have this process of getting the assignments for them, and we were literally seeing the pattern that, okay, all the subsections, the subheadings all had only 3 lines. Yes. Not more than that. Even if you are explaining something very detailed about information architecture, if you are explaining about manufacturing unit or something like that, whatever it is, they are just explaining 3 lines. And I'm like, oh my god, this is an how-to article. How can you just write 3 lines? I mean, at least you being a writer, think of it that, okay, the ChatGPT has created, now you have to enhance it. You ask the right questions so that they can elaborate it. So that is something that, copyright is going to be like, I don't think that there will be too large, that is going to take time, that we can understand that, what is copyrighted and what is not. Even the tools that are there available, I mean, the moment ChatGPT went viral, there were many other tools that came out, that, AI detector tool. Right? So people were like, even the content that I create or my team member create, they all tools say that, it is 80 to 90%, created by AI. And I'm like, okay, now I get it what they are. So, it is very difficult even for AI detector tool to understand what that content is being created. So, like ethics, legal, compliance, I guess that is going to take a lot of time.
Anik, you want to add?
So I think same what Himani said, right? So it's very gray area as of now, right? So we can't comment more on it, but just to give a real example, right? So in our team itself, right? So we are a team of around 18 developers. So recently, last 2 months, what we have seen that there is a developer chat GPT tool, right? So there's a technology called JavaScript, right? So where they're stuck anywhere, right? So they just go to that tool, they put that XYZ things on the development code, there they are stuck it and they get the solution. And recently we have seen that the productivity has increased around 30 to 35% in most of these cases, right? So definitely there are positive things. So I think instead of going on to those part, what we should consider that the journeys of say from 1 to 100, ChatGPT is allowing us to take right to the 70 or 80. After that, it's more about the innovation and how that particular person is using those 70% what ChatGPT has helped you to achieve in say 1 or 5 minutes, which you are going to do it in say 2 to 3 months.
So maybe like humans will give away their mundane work
Correct.
to chat GPT.
Exactly.
And then we'll think about more intellectually,
Correct.
hopefully.
So, yeah. So also answering to the gentleman's question, right, that will it be handicapped also? I would just say that take it positively, right? So यहाँ तक तो ChatGPT ने ला दिया, अब इससे आगे फटाफट सोचते हैं, right? So like you spend your more time on the innovations than on the yeah. Correct. 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 Correct.
Is your wife in the audience here? Good, good, good.
Correct, correct.
There will be a very small class of people, maybe 5%, who will try to do what you said.
Correct.
But 95% people go on the comfort level.
Correct, correct.
So maybe the Darwin, again, the survival of the fittest will happen. Can you give the mic to? Yes, yes.
Okay, to that thing, what happened is that my 10-year-old had a, competition. So he had to speak about Iron Man. And I'm in London sitting, working, and I was in a meeting, and he was like, Mama, I need this speech 10 lines. And I'm like, okay, I don't have time. And I just opened the ChatGPT and I told ChatGPT that create 10 sentences for Iron Man in the first person language and close it with I am Iron Man. And actually it brought me 10 sentences in first person language, and I just sorted that, which ones I want to pick it up, and I just sent it to my son, and he was like, wow, Mama, very fast. And I'm like, wow. So I saved my time. So that is something that is I totally agree with.
Yes.
So I hope your child's none of the school administrators.
Good evening, everyone. As we all know that we are witnessing the paradigm shift of this current moment, right? And we see that ChatGPT and other things also, they are right now. It's like a next industrialization. What we are assuming, or we are actually witnessing the same. So stick to the topic, like how we can catch the steam of this next era which is coming up, right? And how do we make Ahmedabad the next level of the phenomenal ground by using AI and smart startups.
Ahmedabad next AI destination, something like that.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
So of course, end of the day, Ahmedabad is made of Ahmedabadis, right? And and we adopt to new technologies, and we are no different. Some of these things are hitting us together. So while Bombay is hit, Ahmedabad, it's like COVID, right? You could be getting it 2 weeks later, but if Bombay is going to be hit, Ahmedabad is also going to be hit. So that's the same phenomena that is hitting all of us. We are still learning. All of us, we are talking, all of you, even people who have started building products, they are learning. Today, just 6 months, we have seen a revolution. Next 6 months, what it has in store, we don't know. Next 6 years, what we have in store, we don't know. So, आगे देखो होता है क्या?
So I think it is started, right? So I don't know, but many of the companies are actually working on it, right? We have been working with many of the companies, right? So at least I remember 8 to 10 companies, right, which are already started working on the ChatGPT products, right? So I don't know, some as sitting here wanted to be aspire on entrepreneurship, right? So it's the right time, right? So जो execute करेगा वही आगे बढ़ेगा, right? So this technology is available for everyone, right? So the one who starts early will definitely get a benefit, right? But शुरू तो करना पड़ेगा यानी किसी को.
So yeah, जैसे Anik said that execute करेगा वो आगे बढ़ेगा. So it is like that. Even we have set that processes कि अगर हम लोग interview भी ले रहे हैं, any conversation that we are making with the candidates, the first question that we ask is that have you tried ChatGPT or not? If yes, how? If not, why? So we try and understand that whether they are ready for the next move or not. So yeah, things are changing and this will happen with time.
Anik, I believe that you are a very young startup, and I think you raised fund also. Yeah. And there are a lot of young people, aspiring people, entrepreneur who wants to get into AI domain. So where they should begin, especially from the student perspective, and then of course from the younger startup perspective, how they should approach, especially in terms of getting into AI domain.
On a startup perspective, I think AI and everything comes on at a very later stage of the implementation, right? So सबसे पहले तो problem ढूंढना पड़ेगा शुरू करने से पहले, right? So once you get the problem, right? So in that AI comes at a very at multiple stages you can implement it, right? So जैसे कोई product होते हैं कि where you have to implement it right from the day one, right? Say for example हमारा product ऐसा था where we have to implement NLU and NLP from the day one, right? So we have to understand the context of the user, right? फिर कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि once, like for example, give an example of a services company. So they implement AI, ChatGPT in their processes rather than into their product, right? So it depends कि आप कौन से stage पे हो, right? So based on that you have to implement it, right? But I think to be very honest, student है या कोई who is going to start new, right? So this is the right time, I think. अगर अभी नहीं करोगे तो कब करोगे? And if it's a very initial market, right? So बहुत सारी companies इसमें आएगी, which would be a like जैसे इंडिया ने 3 साल में अगर 100 यूनिकॉर्न देखे तो नेक्स्ट 3 साल में 1000 देखेगी इंडिया, राइट? एंड नॉट यूनिकॉर्न इज जस्ट अ नेम, बट बहुत सारी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां विल कम अप विथ यूज ऑफ दिस टेक्नोलॉजी इन द राइट डायरेक्शन, इन द राइट डोमेन, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी आर इनटू सॉफ्टवेयर, राइट? कोई मेडिकल डिवाइस में होगा, राइट? सो यू कैन थिंक ऑन दैट पर्सपेक्टिव, राइट? वेयर आई कांट गिव एनी एडवाइस, राइट? बट यू नो योर इंडस्ट्री बेटर देन समवन एल्स, राइट? सो यू हैव टू थिंक दैट वेयर यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट दोस थिंग्स, राइट?
I'll just add.
Yes.
See, if you see, you would have students coming from Harvard or Stanford. They would be very knowledgeable. Why they would be knowledgeable? Because they would have alumni, they would have professors, they would have other, mentors who are so intelligent, who could guide them. Today, sitting in Ahmedabad, you can get the same level of advice that a student who was incubated in Stanford or incubated in Harvard is going to give you. So the kind of leverage that you are going to get sitting here is going to be at par with what other people are getting in the world. And that is the beauty about technology. It is agnostic. It's not about Ahmedabadi, it is not about whether you come from Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Silicon Valley. You all have access to the same set of information. Now how you use that information, how you pick it up and use it to your advantage, again, as she said, it is up to you.
Yes, I think we have a question on the back side. 2 questions, or 3.
We have been discussing a lot about ChatGPT, AI, and talking about young startups or even matured startups or MSMEs who have in their process somewhere, may it be marketing, HR, content writing, whatsoever, they have started adopting AI and they have found out some productivity out of it. But especially talking about some product companies, it might be a media perception or it might be a lot of misleading information. Like recently we even talk about Alexa, whereas it has been mismarketed a lot that it even overhears the talk which Alexa is not supposed to hear, and it trains its database. So this type of information, this type of media propaganda, may it be propaganda, it might be true whatsoever, that is going out, and due to which, if I talk on consumer perspective, they are quite hesitated to use a product which is solely based upon AI. So as we are a product company, we use AI as a very core product. So I want to know how we can create a positive perspective in the brains of a layman user, a naive user who has absolutely no idea what AI is, who is just believing the media perspective around? Thank you.
Before they answer, I just want to add, because I also come from media background, a lot of media jobs is also going to AI. So they are of course very afraid. And I know like some publication in New Zealand, whenever there's an earthquake happens, it's not a human reporter who write the story. It's an AI based data which basically feed the whole story. Like I believe that even BBC uses AI tools. So there are a lot of Reuters, Thomson Reuters Foundation, all of they are started using AI. So even media is also getting on it because again, they need to have content. So again, different perception around that. But let me ask Enik to respond to that particular question. How do we change that perception?
So I think on the AI perspective, right? So it depends कि आप कौन से product पे काम कर रहे हो, right? So definitely वो market gimmick के लिए लोग AI use करते हैं, right? And also the product use it in a different way, right? AI जैसे आपने Alexa का example किया, it's a right example, right? But unless and until यार अगर कोई चीज़ आपको सही मिल रही है, right? I still don't find any problem, भले Alexa सुन रहा हो, right? अगर मुझे मेरा जो चाहिए वो मुझे तुरंत मिल रहा है, जो मुझे 2 मिनट में मिलने वाला था वो 10 सेकंड में मिल रहा है, right? Alexa को पता है कि मैं यही ढूंढ रहा हूँ, example. Right? So it's fine with me. I don't have any offense in that, right? So it depends on the what's the persona of where you are targeting this particular AI as a model, right? So it to be very honest, it depends on it, right? जैसे हम भी लोग भी करते ही है, पूरा उनके IP ट्रेस करते हैं, क्या उसने सर्च किया है वो ट्रेस करते हैं, तो हम भी करते हो, यानी अगर हम ही उसको गलत बोलेंगे तो फिर.
Yes, I think there was some question on that side. हाँ.
नमस्कार एवरीवन, मैं अस्माकम भारत की तरफ से बात कर रहा हूँ कि अभी हम जो बात कर रहे हैं चैट जीपीटी की और एआई वो सब डेटा है, लेकिन वो हम भारत में 12,000 साल पहले था. फॉर रिसेंटली हमने रिसर्च किया है. आपने नाम सुना है किसी ने? बाइनरी किसने फाइंड की थी? बाइनरी लैंग्वेज बोलो. हाँ 01 किसने, मतलब
याद नहीं है, प्लीज.
याद नहीं है, मतलब बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, वो 12,000 साल पहले हमने भारत में ही खोज किया हुआ था पिंगलाचार्य ने. वो संध शास्त्र में है. तो मैंने पूरा का पूरा कोरिलेट किया और उसका जो 2 रेस होता था वो पूरा 0101 फॉर्मेट में लघु गुरु के हिसाब से वो पूरा छंद के हिसाब से हमें पूरा कोरिलेट करता था. तो कहीं ना कहीं जो एआई है और एएमएल है सब कुछ कोरिलेटेड है हमारे छंद के अंदर. तो हमें वो खोजना चाहिए कि हमने बहुत पुराना कल्चर हमारे पास छोड़ के गए हम, लेकिन हमें कहीं ना, आपको कहीं मिले तो मुझे कांटेक्ट करना, तो हम उसमें अस्माकम भारत में हम काम करते हैं अभी. उसमें मैंने बहुत सारी चीज़ देखी, एक नहीं, मैंने रिसेंटली ही एक थीसिस पढ़ी है और उसमें था अभी क्वांटम कंप्यूटर्स बन रहे हैं ना. जो क्वांटम कंप्यूटर्स में क्या था, कम बीट यूज़ कर रहे हैं, बीट की जगह क्यूबिट आने वाले हैं. तो क्यूबिट का भी जो थ्योरम है ना वो पहले हमने 12,000 साल पहले करके रखे हैं सब. ठीक, लेकिन वो कोई आपको मिले कोई तो मुझे बताना.
थैंक यू सो मच. आई थिंक पीछे कोई और, हाँ वहाँ पे.
Hi Himani. So my question is AI battle is already ongoing. Already Amazon खुद का कुछ बना रहा है, बार्ड आया, चैट जीपीटी आया. तो मतलब 20 साल से गूगल है, वर्ल्ड का सबसे लार्जेस्ट सर्च इंजन बोल सकते हैं. इवन 95% सर्च शेयर गूगल के पास है, फिर भी वो चैट जीपीटी और बिंग को नहीं हरा पाया. व्हाट्स योर थॉट्स, व्हाई?
सो आई गेस जो उसका प्रॉब्लम था वो इस प्रोसेस में लगे थे कि उनको यूज़र एक्सपीरियंस कैसे बढ़ाना है ऑन सर्च एंड उनको गूगल एड्स पे क्या फोकस करना है, ये है वो है. दे वेर टू मच फोकस्ड ऑन इम्प्रोवाइजिंग द यूज़र एक्सपीरियंस ऑन द सर्च फॉर betterment of their products or something like that. But I guess कंपटीशन आया इसलिए उनका वो हुआ, बाढ़ का जो वो इश्यू हुआ, दे गॉट ट्रॉल्ड एंड एवरीथिंग. वो इसीलिए क्योंकि उन लोगों ने हड़बड़ी में वो चीज़ की. अदरवाइज ऐसा नहीं है दैट दे डोंट हैव द टैलेंट, दे डोंट हैव द डेवलपर्स एंड समथिंग लाइक दैट. बट इतने टाइम से डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं सर्च को कि लाइक एवरीवन इज, अभी सबको यही पता है कि सर्च इंजन है तो गूगल ही है. आई मीन किसी को ये भी नहीं मालूम है कि सर्च इंजन बोलते हैं उसको, राइट? एवरीवन नोज गूगल कर दे यार, right? So everyone knows Google, but अब chat GPT के आने के बाद Bing को लोग जानने लगे हैं. Actually Bing was the second largest search engine when I entered into SEO, which was like almost 13 years ago. Right, so तब वो second largest ही था, so वो tight competition भी देता था to Google. But to be very honest, I guess the people who have not invested or who have stopped investing in Bing search engine optimization, I guess they have to start doing it right away, because ये लोग जो chat GPT ला रहे हैं, Bing का भी AI जो chat है, वो लोग वो data model को learn कर रहे हैं, and they are going to be coming up with a really strong search experience. And I guess वो definitely going to, I would not say dominate, but definitely it is going to give tough competition to Google.
So I think ऐसा नहीं है कि वो सबका टाइम आएगा वैसे है राइट और जस्ट टू लेट यू नो राइट यानी जो ये आप इसका चैट जीपीटी का खाली कोर पढ़ना एक बहुत डिटेल लाइक आर्टिकल भी है तो वो नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग के ऊपर उसका पूरा बेस है राइट सो उसके ऊपर उसमें वो बना 2.5 साल से वो लोग पूरा R&D कर रहे थे उसके बाद वो एक मॉडल आया और बहुत कुछ हुआ है उसके तो यू कैन जस्ट गो एंड रिसर्च इट राइट तो ऐसा नहीं है कि गूगल को ही हराना ये मोटिव है चैट जीपीटी के यूज केस बहुत अलग अलग जगह अलग अलग एग्जाम्पल में है राइट सो गूगल इज जस्ट इट्स अ डिस्कवरी प्लेटफॉर्म राइट सो आप चैट जीपीटी के जैसे बहुत सारे HR में कहीं यूज़ केस है कहीं मेडिकल में तो उसका यूज़ केस ओपन वाइड केस यूज़ केस है राइट सो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो गूगल से है सो ऐसा समझो कि चैट जीपीटी भी रहेगा गूगल भी रहेगा पर मार्केट बहुत बड़ा बड़ा होता जाएगा इसमें
यस अच्छा बैक साइड आई थिंक हाँ उनको दे
हाय आई एम काव्या सो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि बेसिकली पेड मीडिया का इसमें रोल रहेगा क्या चैट जीपीटी या एआई के अंदर जैसे अपने देख रहे हैं जो अपने को डेटा देता है एक्चुअली में राइट नाउ तो अगर मान लो कि वो अपने को पेड नहीं दिखा रहा बाद में पर एड्स वगैरह भी आएंगे बिकॉज मैं भी मार्केटिंग बैकग्राउंड से और साइबर सिक्योरिटी बैकग्राउंड से हूँ तो स्टार्टेड मैंने अभी नोटिस करना स्टार्ट किया कि चैट जीपीटी में कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी आ रही हैं जिनसे बेटर टूल्स हैं या फिर चीज़ें हैं बट वो उन्हीं को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं सो ये चीज़ का लाइक क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा इंडस्ट्री के ऊपर ओवरऑल अगर देखा जाए थैंक यू
विनीत
You're right. So as a user, I will ask him which are the top 5 institutes in Ahmedabad. And AMA's name may come up, may not come up. Now what is the logic that they use is different thing. So there is always this possibility to have a back-end manipulation. The way we have seen social media, right? Facebook has been has been accused of trying to manipulate elections, trying to manipulate public opinion. Only feeds which are relevant to a certain thought process come on top and feeds which are... So these kind of things, they go hand in hand. So today we get so dependent on say Chat GPT, or tomorrow there could be Bing, or there could be another platform. And slowly by slowly, in a very subtle way, they would start promoting ideas or opinions which are contrary to the truth. And that is what comes back to the core question, that no matter what is thrown back at you through these platforms, you have to do your own research, you have to use your own acumen, and you have to take your own decisions.
So I just want to add there, ethics on AI is being a hugely debated topic. And in Western countries, India, still we are not figuring it out. But ethics in AI matters a lot. Like for example, if you go on ChatGPT and type 2 prominent politicians in India, from both the political hues, you will see a different kind of a response. Like for example, in US politics, you put Donald Trump and Biden, the kind of response it gives an idea that it's not very objective driven, because ultimately also it's a human who have fed that particular data. So again, this is a very debatable topic, and a lot of people are struggling to it, how we can put ethics in AI, because objectivity is going to be a huge challenge, and that's why we're also discussing about the copyright issue, who basically own this content, and whether they would be challenged in future in that particular context. Any other questions from, okay.
Hi Himani, my question is to you because you are an expert in SEO and content-based SEO. a lot of content creators are in thinking mode whether they should adopt AI for content because they think they might get penalized by Google, which currently is bringing them a lot of traffic. And especially for sites which are heavily dependent on content from Google. So since you are an expert, I would like to get your opinion on that. Yeah.
Okay, the thing is that AI से content create करना is one thing, right? And then it is something that we have to make sure कि वो content audience से resonate करता है. That is the major, और मैं ऐसा बोल सकती हूँ कि सबसे बड़ा challenge the writers has with this. क्योंकि राइटर्स को क्या बोला जाता है, आई मीन राइटर्स को वो चीज़ों का इंफॉर्मेशन आधे टाइम दिया नहीं जाता है कि वो किन के लिए लिख रहे हैं, क्यों लिख रहे हैं, क्या आउटपुट आना चाहिए, क्या होना चाहिए, ये सारी डिटेल्स उनके पास नहीं होती है. क्या दिया जाता है, टॉपिक दिया जाता है, उनको कीवर्ड्स दिए जाते हैं एंड कुछ रेफरेंस लिंक दिए जाते हैं. बस इतनी चीज़ें देने के बाद उनको ये एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है कि राइटर्स अपने आप से रिसर्च भी कर लेंगे, ऑडियंस भी समझ लेंगे, सब कुछ वो ही कर लेंगे. So होता क्या है, when they research about a content, they go to the competing blogs, right? अभी वो subject matter expert है नहीं, writer, right? तो वो लोग SERPs पे जाएंगे, 10 content, 12 content read करेंगे, उसका एक वो बनाएंगे, एक kind of a combo कि हर जगह से ले लिया, यूनिक पीसेस उठा लिए, उसको जम्बल अप करके रेडी कर दिया, राइट? बट देन उनको वो जो इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं होती है, जब वो उस इन्फॉर्मेशन को कॉपी करते हैं अपने कंपिटिटर्स से, उसको मैनिपुलेट करते हैं, रीफ्रेस करते हैं, जो चैट जीपीटी भी करता है, राइट? सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? सो गूगल ने भी अपने एल्गोरिदम को रिफ्रेस किया, उसने भी उसको अपग्रेड किया. वाई? बिकॉज एआई एकदम इट वेंट रियली अग्रेसिव कि भाई हर बार अपडेट आ रहा है, 3 आया, 3.5 आया, 4 आ गया, राइट? सो इतना फास्ट चैट जीपीटी आ रहा है, उसकी वजह से ऐसा हो रहा है दैट इवन गूगल हैज़ टू रीफ्रेज एंड रोल आउट अनदर काइंड ऑफ एल्गोरिदम अपडेट. बट राइटर्स को क्या करने की ज़रूरत है इज़ दैट दे हैव टू गेट मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम द सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्ट. जो इन हाउस कुछ राइटर्स होते हैं, दे गेट दैट प्रिविलेज. व्हाट इफ काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने विद कोविड दे लेफ्ट द जॉब एंड दे वेर जस्ट एंजॉइंग दैट वर्क फ्रॉम होम फ्रीलांस थिंग. बहुत सारे राइटर्स फ्रीलांस में चले गए, लीविंग देयर इन हाउस जॉब. उसके बाद उनको क्या था, मेरे को तो वो 10 कंपटीटर वाले साइट देखने हैं, कंटेंट रिफ्रेश करना है और भेज देना है. फिर वो कंटेंट पेनलाइज हो जाता है, वहाँ पे वो सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्टीज़ नहीं आता है, वो यूनिकनेस नहीं आता है जो वो ब्रांड के हिसाब से आना चाहिए. तो मतलब अभी तक गूगल समझ रहा था कि ओके, abc.com is a well authorized expertise content the expert in a particular domain. Say for example ये लोग say digital transformation में है, ये abc.com is the expert in digital transformation, right? So वो अभी तक ये समझ रहे थे, but जैसे जैसे वो क्लीशे कंटेंट आए जिसमें से उन लोगों ने वो मैट्रिक्स चेक किया इन देयर एनालिटिक्स कि भाई एंगेजमेंट रेट नहीं है, बंदा कोई पढ़ता ही नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट बाउंस ऑफ. सो उसकी वजह से ये सारे मैट्रिक्स को कैलकुलेट करके उनको समझ में आता है कि ये कंटेंट वैल्यूएबल नहीं है, it is not helping the users, and that is the reason their HCO helpful content useful content वाला जो update था, that made the huge impact. So actually writer को क्या करने की ज़रूरत है, they have to more understand the product, the business, the services and what that user is expecting. जैसे अभी हम लोगों ने बात किया राइट कि कि हम लोग कैसे इसको इवॉल्व करेंगे या ऐसे. सो इन दैट केस क्या होता है दैट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स जो कंटेंट क्रिएट होता है या चैट जीपीटी आप यूज़ करते हो राइट, इफ़ यू डोंट यूज़ इट एफिशिएंटली तो वो वैसे भी काम नहीं करने वाला है, राइट? सो राइटर्स को भी एआई यूज़ करना पड़ेगा टू स्पीड अप, क्योंकि जॉब तो वैसे भी जा रही है, चैट जीपीटी पे लोग बिलोंग कर रहे हैं. तो रादर आप अपनी प्रोडक्टिविटी, अपनी एफिशिएंसी इंप्रूव करने के लिए यू कैन यूज़ द मंडेन टास्क, यू कैन यूज़ चैट जीपीटी फॉर मंडेन टास्क एंड जस्ट यू पुट योर क्रिएटिविटी, योर दैट यूनिकनेस इनटू द कंटेंट.
I think, yes, please.
Hello, hi, myself Rahul. So when we are talking about digital transformations, I think a lot of things starts with the digital fog.
it's being said, as you know, guys, there are 32,000 AI tools are being available openly on platforms. So, being a new learner, what would be the digital intelligence where we should start and engaging ourselves, be it with perspective of marketing, be it before the B2B industries? So, what would be your take on that?
We need. Want to start?
So as I said, there are two worlds. One is the user world and other is the creator world. So you have to first decide on which side of the fence you are. If you are part of the creator world, then you have to get into a lot of core development tools. Right now, I am part of the user world. So user world is trying to be intelligent on what are the tools and platforms out there. Of course, ChatGPT is a very popular platform, but every day when I talk to somebody, I hear 2-3 new names. आज मेरे को किसी ने बोला कि images के लिए there is DALI, and then there is so of course traditional tools like Canva. So you keep hearing new tools. Now what is the difference? Is it more for me? Is another tool better for me? So you keep, there was a time where Jasper used to, come and it would help you write content. Today, Jasper has kind of gone away and you see something else coming in. There are paid tools, there are free tools. So all these things is, you have to just keep exploring the world. And as I said, we are too early in this. ये तो 6 महीने पुरानी story and we are talking as if we are like 6 years into it, right? We are just 6 months. Even the so-called authorities are still novice on it. So
ChatGPT reached 1 million in 5 days, na? The fastest. Yeah. Yes. पीछे एक है.
My question is like Ahmedabad next. Ahmedabad is known for Manchester, like a manufacturing hub. So I'm doing something in manufacturing. So AI for manufacturing helpfulness. If all of you can point out some point, especially in AI for manufacturing hub.
I think that's your domain, Vineet.
So AI for manufacturing, so developers have been using AI for at least few years now, at least 3-4 years that I know for fact. And they have been collecting data, they have been collecting patterns in which a particular manufacturing or a process moves. And this data is being used to predict the future, right? How to optimize the color, whether it's a recipe, or how to optimize a production pattern, or how to predict that this motor is going to fail, or how to predict the best type of garment, or to reduce the variation in the garments that I'm manufacturing by the past history of the data. Previously, you would always have, ये मेरा master है, वही आदमी अगर बैठेगा मेरे लूम पे, तो बढ़िया सा मेरा माल बाहर निकलेगा. Today, a lot of this is being done by the AI model. So predictive failures, predictive maintenance, optimizing that golden batch, all those things in manufacturing is happening and AI is being used. अभी तक क्या था कि because it was only in the development area, as I said, there were only creators working on AI, तो users को लगता था ये सब क्लीशे है. कोई भी आदमी अपने सॉफ्टवेयर में प्रोडक्ट में AI डाल के प्राइस थोड़ा ज़्यादा लेके जाता था. Maybe it was true also. Some people would be overplaying the AI that they have in their technology. But slowly by slowly, with natural language processing, when an operator does not have to rely on specific syntax, but can just give you a human input and get a process to work the way he wants. So all these things is actually making a huge impact in the manufacturing world.
Yes. Yes, young person.
Hello everyone, good evening. So my question is, in this era of high unemployment, what will be the effects of AI? Like what will we going to do if everything is going to be done by AI? Like IBM is right now layoffing 7,800 people, and Mark Cuban also said before 3 years that if we don't learn machine learning and AI, then we'll be dinosaurs in 3 years, and this is true right now. And recently in an interview he said that all the studying we are doing will be pointless because after 5 years everything will be done by AI. So what should we do and what should we study right now?
We didn't thought that we are going to end on that particular note. Yes.
So I think I can quickly give it a start, right? So I think the point which you said, right? So hiring, the layoff is not because definitely for AI, right? So people have overhired it, right? Not in Indian market, on globally during the COVID time, the overhiring was done, and that's the reason we are seeing this, right? So you are just seeing the layoff number, right? But we also see the number of 2019, 2020, that how much hiring has been done at that point of time, right? And coming back to your question that what you should go for, right? So I think go for your passion, that's the answer, right? And no AI, nothing will take away your passion, right? So just go for it. That's it, I would say.
But I have just add-on question. Like for example, do you think that in terms of degree versus a skill, because maybe AI would make the degree redundant, because it's just a degree. How do you see that?
So I think that myth has been now very clear, right? So there is no value of degree anymore, right? So like right now in our team there are 3 developers who don't have software development degree. One is a civil engineer, one is a 12th pass out, and one is, I think one is also another one is also 12th pass out, right?
Fantastic.
So there is no value of I would say degree.
Don't drop out, please. Vineet, unemployment.
I think this has always been there when we were in college, which is again dinosaur years. That time we didn't even have emails. And to write our project report, we had to go to a word processor, and that also you had to go to a cyber cafe, and you would give somebody money so that they would type your project to him, get a printout, do a binding, and you would submit it in that. But when Google came, when my children grew up in college, my daughter is 14 years old now, very strict instructions for any project work that happens in school. No using Google. If you find out your child has Google, that project will not be considered. So, and today we are talking about AI ML. So these kind of things evolve. When we were in school, you can't bring calculator in school. Only in 11th standard students can use calculator. Only in college you can use calculators. So these are the things that have always been there, and I think this is all part of evolution, and who knows, there's going to be something even more drastic in years to come.
Yes, sir. I think last, and ma'am, last 2 questions.
See, it depends on what vantage point you're standing at, and talking about degrees, I think because you rightly pointed out, there are kids sitting here and they should not get demotivated. The idea is you are a techie, the degree may not matter, but somebody for an engineer or a medical student or an architect or somebody else, degrees do matter, management, and degrees are important. Even in tech, they might be important, of course, we have degrees there. So I just wanted to, maybe my suggestion or maybe my correction.
No, I think I would totally, definitely a doctor without a doctor degree can't do an operation. So I definitely agree to your point, but on the context of the software side, I think
that's what that's from a techie point, it's solid. I'll be getting my DR in 6 months. That's fine.
Correct. So yeah.
Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir. पीछे एक हैं, उनके बाद आप.
Hi. So we talked about, AI being a threat to human jobs. Instead, is there any way we can use AI creating human jobs?
Yes, I think
so. So I think multiple questions has been asked on this front, right? So just to give a very basic answer for this, right? So don't consider this AI as a job competitor or anything, right? So just consider that it's going to be a new world, right? Example, Google के पहले यानी Facebook के पहले Orkut भी था, right? So Facebook अब now I don't know the Gen Z are no one using Facebook, all are on Instagram, right? So trend is going to change, right? So it's a trend changer, right? Someone also asked for the question कि फिर वो वहाँ पे there's a paid marketing going for, right? So in these tools and everything, right? So it's going to be a new world. अभी भी सब में होता ही है, Zomato है, Swiggy है, सब में paid marketing पीछे हो ही रहा है. It's not कि अभी नहीं हो रहा है, right? So the new companies will come. will built on these new technologies, right? And the and it will be more compatible and more user friendly and more easy for the users like us who are sitting here, right? So it's going to be easy for us, and there's a new world of AI coming. That's it, right? So all people who are sitting here should actually think as an opportunity कि इसमें से हम क्या tap करें, right? So I don't know someone sitting or people sitting here if they are aware of ONDC, right? So
Yes,
अगर आप
yes.
इंडिया का ecosystem देखो तो the government is also supporting with many new tech stacks, right? UPI आया है, वैसे NPS pension में भी आया है. Now you will be amazed to see pension में Bangalore में ऐसे 8-10 startup है which are going to be like unicorn in less than 3 years. Right, so many things government is also opening up for an opportunity, right? Ab ONDC is a tremendous opportunity, and you just go and Google it, right? So 6 महीने में वहाँ पे एक company है जिसने auto rickshaw का एक app बनाया था. They are doing more than 23 crores of monthly revenue, right? So multiple things are coming in terms of the tech stack. So आप AI और जो नया tech stack government open कर रही है उसको merge करके क्या बना सकते हो जो अभी existing को कैसे disrupt कर सकते हो, that you should think rather than thinking कि ये job वॉब के चक्कर का कोई logic नहीं है.
So I just want to add from my personal experience, like for example, when social media came, a lot of people say that a lot of job will go. But then we realized that we have job like social media manager, social media executive, so many jobs. Like for example, there's a job called thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail designer. Who would have thought that a person would specifically work on YouTube thumbnail designing? So of course, there are a lot of scopes are going up. The thing is that how well we are versed with these platforms and how much we are willing to experiment on these tools. Yes, last.
Because of generative AI, and recently AI tools, I think there AI has come to a point where it is like literally acting like a human, and which is connected with a robot, it can literally act like a very superhuman. So I just wanted to ask, like, what will be its effect on, first of all, cybersecurity, the economy, and the humanity in general? Because if you see the general trends of the US economy right now because of the banks, collapsing, rise in cryptocurrency, rise in NFTs and things like that. So how is it a part of a whole propaganda, or like?
So we started on a high note and now we are moving towards the dangers of AI. Yes, who want to answer?
So all these challenges are real. Like when Zomato, I love their delivery, but there is obviously a problem. I have strangers walking into my house all times of the day, and my children are alone, my parents are alone at home, and it is a concern. But I still love their delivery. So it's a two-edged sword. Now there are, obviously you are trying to catch up, you understand a threat, you catch up, somewhere government chips in, somewhere you build your own process, somewhere the society will build some process. And this is a ever evolving game. The same thing is happening with your AI and all those things. So cyber security is real. Some of the known threats are being addressed. New threats will crop up over a period of time. Something or the other will happen over there. There will be actual fraud. There will be collateral damage. But that's all part of the game.
Anik.
No, I think I definitely agree to what Vinit said, right? So like all of us sitting us here, right? यानी 5 साल पहले Uber में जाने से पहले डरते थे यार, वो driver है, वो है, right? Now even like we don't think on that part, right? So it's a part of life हो गया है कि भाई Uber में तो जा सकते हैं, right?
But I echo with your thought, and that's why, yes. But also you have to think, like for example, a person sitting in Jamtara, Jharkhand, can dupe cyber experts, है ना, which is happening on a regular basis. So the AI तो बहुत आगे की चीज़ है, मतलब जामतारा में बैठा हुआ है, so कुछ नहीं आता है, easily, पढ़े लिखे लोग, है ना, every other day losing money on WhatsApp video, lot of मतलब scams are going on. So, but I completely agree, and that's why there's a lot of debate happening on AI ethics, and of course we have to very prepare ourselves. That's why I think that's why we invited someone from public policy to come and discuss more about it, how the policy will be getting framed around AI. Because we still have a lot of confusion growing under cryptocurrency. Suddenly AI has also come up. NFT has gone. NFT, no one talks about NFT these days. But earlier there was a whole bunch of people on Twitter selling NFT all the time. You go on Instagram. So those things are coming up. And regarding jobs, like I have started seeing on LinkedIn, people are now putting that chat GPT prompt, prompt designer, engineer. So suddenly these things are also coming up. So again, it's a very interesting time. The best part that you all have come together to come on a topic which are emerging, and maybe eventually and hopefully Ahmedabad next can become a next AI destination. And that particular note, on that positive note, we wish to end this discussion. But I must thank all our panelists, Vineet, Anik and Himani, and especially all the participants, because you have been very prompt, participative, and I think we should not end this discussion here. This is just the beginning. And as Jatin also mentioned about that, if anyone of you need any support, please write to him, or maybe next time when we are doing, we can have more networking opportunity. And I think the idea is also to have network with each other, try to get as many contact as possible, and maybe we all come together to make next AI destination Ahmedabad. Thank you, everyone.
Kumar, I must appreciate the kind of interaction that you had from the audience, the kind of questions that have come in. You know, usually it's the moderator who's always in
Yes,
charge and
yes.
taking care, and they are like a silent audience. But today it has been a two-way thing, and I think very mature
And best part that we have young people like 17-year-old coming and being part of the discussion. We should give a big round of thanks to them. Fantastic. And we need a photograph. So you have to stand up there. We come this side and someone will take photograph from here. Yes. Or maybe we can devise some AI tool.
This is for academic purpose.
Mr. Shah. Mr. Shah.